SHADE45, all means in the building.
Yes, sir.
We are live, and since we live, we got a caller. Want to speak to you real quick? You don't
Let's
mind?
do it. Yeah.
Yo, hello, who's this?
Yo, hello, this is Cheeto.
All right, Cheeto, what's going on?
Not much, calling here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Want to let Armin know we've been listening to him here for a while.
My man.
I appreciate his music.
Love, bro. I really appreciate that. South Dakota, I had no idea.
South Dakota, bro.
I don't think I ever been there.
You know that when you dropped that album, that Seven Deadly Sin album, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, yo, appreciate you, bro. That's a minute ago, too. That's like 2015, I want to say, so.
2015, yeah. That's when I started listening to you, bro.
My dog, appreciate that loyal support, for real.
All right. 88SHADE45, call up, Armin's in the building. How did you link up with Nas, man?
Crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
It's actually the craziest story. Nas always been my favorite rapper, like, you know, but I never thought I'm gonna, like, you know what I mean, be able to do a record with him just like that. But what happened was I made a tribute to my two, like, biggest influences and, like, you know what I mean, really the reason I was rapping, which is Nas and M, you know what I'm saying? So I did a tribute back in 2016 called Letter to the King. And it was just some mixtape shit, you know what I mean? At the time, I was just like, you know, things weren't going that great, and I was just doing what I love, and I did this whole tape, but the one song called Letter to the King was the tribute. So first verse, I'm talking to Nas, second verse, I'm talking to M, you know what I mean? And we just put it out, and it got a lot of love. Like, all the blogs picked it up, and the reviews were crazy on it. So then we went and shot a little video. So we came out here, went to Queensbridge Projects, then went to Detroit, found out, like, M's, you know what I mean? That Marshall Mathers crib.
Yeah.
I know M is your people, too. We on SHADE45. So, you know, we figured out what street that was, and, you know, shot a little run and gun video. We put it out, and that was that. And I figured, like, you know, let the universe do its work. But really, I figured, you know, most probably some of their fans would appreciate it. And I can capture, you know what I mean, capitalize like that. So a good 3-4 years passed, and Nas heard the fucking tribute joint, and out of nowhere, I get a FaceTime, and it was Nas. You know what I'm saying?
You should be like, who the fuck is you, yo? You look like Nas, man.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. And he's like, yo, what's up, bro? I just heard that song. And I'm like, which song? Because in that moment, again, it was like 3-4 years old. And he's like, the one you did for me and M. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. I'm happy you finally heard it. He's like, nah, that shit did something to me right now. And he's like pointing at his chest like this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we chopped up a little bit, and I had just started working with Scott. Like, it was super early on in those sessions.
That 2 and 2, yeah.
You know what I mean? And, bro, 3 days later, he came to the studio at Scott Storch's crib, and we did the whole song on the spot.
One, the song is dope.
Thank you.
And two,
most importantly,
we talked about, like, talking about the cannabis stuff and whatnot. How was it, like, linking up with Burner?
Oh, yeah, Burner's my dog.
Yeah.
So,
that's the big little homie.
Yeah, so my business partners in that world are basically partners with Burner and Cookies. And I've been fucking with Be Real for a long time. Like, Be Real been one of my first believers, you know what I'm saying? So all of those dudes are kind of connected, you know what I mean? And Scott, too. They really, like, close all of them together. So, yeah, I met Burner, and that's, again, when I had started working with Scott, and he heard some of the joints we were doing. He's like, yo, you fired. You know, Burner does a lot of, like, collaboration projects.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm saying? So he does his solo shit, and then he does, like, a whole tape with, like, Mozzie or Styles P, or, you know what I mean? So he was like, yo, I'm down to do a project with you, you know? I'm like, oh, shit. So we started working, and we went on tour 2019, again, right before the pandemic. And in 2020, we dropped that joint project with Burner. We had Wiz on there. We had Dave East on there. Styles P was on there, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a great look. Shout out to Burner.
Was there any weed being lit up in the studio?
There was definitely a good amount of weed, you know? Really, what Burner does is, like, he has his growers come in the studio session with, like, the different new batches, you know what I'm saying?
That's scary.
And then he be like trying the shit, and he be naming them right there. Like, if he fucks with it, he'd be like, this the Gary Payton or whatever, you know what I mean? So, you know, this the Armenian assassin. That's probably what a strain should be. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? He'd be like on the spot, kind of like, yeah, man. So we were smoking for sure. One of the sessions, Be Real joined us. You know what I mean? That was a fucking incredible session. So, yeah. Shout out to Big Burn.
That's dope. That's some hand claps right there, Tony Tone.
Please, please.
Shit, man. Wait, the phone line's going crazy. We got another caller, man. They want to holler at Armin. What's going on? Who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Yo, you live on air.
Hey, love from North Dakota, guys. Just heard that Armin track. First song I've heard by him. That shit's hot. Good way to start the summer, man.
My brother, appreciate that, bro. Man, the Dakotas is showing love today. I appreciate it for real.
Damn, have you ever been there?
I literally never been there. Like, I've been on a few tours. I don't think we ever went through the Dakotas, man. Oh, shit. Looks like I need to.
You gotta go there, man. Go there. Go skateboarding there.
Yeah. Word.
88 SHADE45. Now, you got a lot of features on the album.
Yeah.
You got Nas, but you got Quavo on there too.
Yeah.
How was that?
Two different worlds, bro.
That's
like,
dope.
yeah, I was introduced to all three of the Migos a couple years back, and first I did some shit with Offset. You know, these opportunities presented themselves, and all, you know, again, it took a while. So I was working with Scott during this whole time. So, and I was just ready every time, you know what I mean? Like, once the opportunities came, like I had records, or like I created the records with them in mind. So with Quavo, you know, we chopped it up, and he was gonna come to the studio. So me and Scott in there working on the beat. Yeah. And then he pulled up, you know what I'm saying? Fucking bless me, bro. That dude is so talented. That might have been the most, like, impressive, like, session, like, to see him work. Like, he, you know, he just walked in, the beat wasn't even playing, he put the headphones on, he's like, I play the beat, maybe 15 minutes, he did the whole shit, and he really made a smash. Like, that hook he came up with, I'm like, Quay, you gotta take the lead on this, you know what I mean? I know a hit maker when I see one, you feel me? So he came up with that hit, then I did my shit, and it was like, yo, he even said, like, yo, you really got one with this one. Then he pulled up to the video too, so the video was out too. So shout out to Quavo, man. And then, you know, I met Takeoff too, and we had a short conversation about doing some shit. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, Take, you the only Migo I don't have a record with yet. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, come on, man, what we doing? And he's really the spitter of the crew, right? So for me, I was like, I really wanted to work with him. He's like, send me something, but I never got to it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel I had the right record yet, and I kind of lagged on it. And then, you know, obviously what happened, so rest in power to him, you know?
That's right. You work with a lot of artists. I know you're repping the West Coast. Is there any West Coast artists that you like to work with in the future?
Man, a lot, you know what I'm saying? Obviously Kendrick, you know what I mean? The young GOAT. Blast is fire. I don't know if y'all really bumping Blast out here. He's kind of new, like he really blew up last year. He's like a singer rapper, you know what I mean? But he's fire. I did some shit with Ty Dolla $ign already that's not out yet, you know? Who else is coming to mind? You know, I'm a big fan of TDE, so like Schoolboy Q.
That would be
like,
dope.
You know what I mean? Any of those dudes. J-Rock, I fuck with heavy. Yeah. I always draw a blank when people ask me this type of question, but that's what come to mind right now. You know
but
what I mean?
That's dope, man. That's dope. I like to thank you for coming through and holding it down.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Oh, man. It's been a minute, man. You've been doing your thing.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to congratulate you, the music, and everybody that you're down with, and doing the damn thing. Where can they follow you, brother?
Appreciate you, bro. It's Armin. It's spelled the letter R and then mean, like a mean motherfucker. You know what I mean? RMEAN on all platforms, Spotify, IG. Obviously, follow me. The album is out right now. It's called Mean, produced by Scott Storch. Again, we got a lot of people on there. You know what I mean? Nas, Offset, Quavo, YG, Meth. Only thing missing is Eminem. You know what I mean? We on SHADE45. That's the next goal, baby. We gotta get that. You know what I mean? That M record in. So that's, you know, that's how we moving right now.
Let's rock that Quavo joint to let the listeners know what that Quavo joint was, what it's called. Let them know.
Hell yeah. Right here. It's your boy Armin featuring Quavo. It's called Yes Sir. Produced by Scott Storch off that Mean album, SHADE45. Let's get it.
And the video's out right now.
Yes.
Let's do it. It's SHADE45.